locked on. It's usually a telltale sign we're about ready to go. Should be a 1-0 race. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and the stream has it too. 1-0. Alright, and we're off. So I love how the Link face is actually like a text character in the game. You can just print it in text boxes so easily like that. Because it shows up on like the signs in town, the wanted posters, and I guess you can just add it to whatever text box you can edit. Alright, for those unfamiliar, we are running standard mode this tournament, though I'm sure quite a few of you have seen the mini races so far in the tournament. We're running standard mode with randomized swords, so typically you'd fall into the well here, you know, Uncle would give you a sword, but the rules of this tournament, or the way it's placed in this version, it's not a sword, it's a random weapon, so today it seems we have bombs, which is probably one of the more difficult items to clear escape with, honestly.
It's definitely one of the harder items to clear with, but it's actually one of my favorites to get because all the other items, hammer, bow, you know you're going to pick those up, you know, during the course of normal progression. Bombs is something that you don't want to leave escape without having at least one bomb to check the back of escape. So getting it here, you know you're going to get it, you know you're not going to miss something.
Yeah, everyone always hoping for that lucky 1, 4, or 8 bomb drop so they can get those 3 chests there at the end. You see some interesting bomb strats from players during this tournament, I'm sure. Actually, interesting to note, since the bombs do an entire heart of damage to you with green mail, that full heart they got next to Uncle might actually be really good.
Definitely come in handy. There's a lot of bomb pickups, and they only need 5 bombs to kill the prerequisite guards. 1 bomb to kill a rat and escape. So they do have quite a comfortable cushion, even though 10 doesn't seem that many. Both players there employing the suicide tactic, just carrying the bomb to make sure it goes off where they need it.
I think Sage took an extra hit from his own bomb there. I don't think he meant to do that one, but with that extra heart that they got, I think there's not going to be any danger. There's 3 heart pots right here in the jail cell, so they'll be able to top off if they want to. Is this standard? Yes, this is standard. They will be going down to rescue Zelda, and they'll have to escape through the back of Sanctuary, and then the game will start from there.
Expect we'll be seeing pot strats on both sides in order to save those valuable bombs.
Oh, for sure. I think this guy takes, what, maybe 3 bombs total? Or maybe 1 pot and 1 bomb? Honestly don't remember.
The bomb damage varies so much from enemy to enemy. I know it's 8 fighter sword slashes, 1 fire rod. There's so much variance.
Yeah.
But 2 pots. 2 pots is consistent. And they're already back up to 4 full hearts, so they should have no more problems with health getting out of escape. The only remaining enemy they need to kill is 1 rat in the sewer to get a key. They did find the map, so there will be an item in Sanctuary once they get to that point.
Yeah, no real variance to go for now. I'm glad both runners kind of nailed what they were going for. There's really no hassle to run around with bombs because one missed or anything like that. They seem to be pretty practiced in using bombs, and that's definitely a really important thing because that's probably the one item that's the easiest to mess up with, I think.
They both executed that very well, both having 5 bombs, exactly as many as you'd expect. The link spread on the left, SageLord, that's very easy. I'm notoriously bad at the Guess the Sprite game. Do you know what Estragon's sprite is?
I believe it's named Rumia, I want to say. I don't know, there's like, what, 80 sprites or so? It's absolutely ridiculous. Shoutouts to all the sprite makers, they do a wonderful job. Right, Alright, into escape we go. There's a heart pot there on the right side. It's very in the way, so if you're not topped off, you can definitely top up right there if you need to.
They're getting a lot of ammunition so far, but I'm sure they would prefer a weapon with a little bit more ammo capacity than a bomb bag. Single arrow, yeah, not gonna help them out.
Single arrow is a lot of ammunition, I suppose. Alright, here we go. Here's the rat, SageLord, just gonna ram right into him. There's really nothing that can go too wrong there. Oh, Estragon got hit by the rat from the right side. Oh, was that the right one? It was. Very nice.
Fortunately, it only took Estrogen one extra bomb. SageLord, with the suicide strat there, it's safe.
Hey, that's definitely payoff.
They got the bomb, and that single arrow is not gonna earn its keep.
One arrow to fire, great. Alright, now 300 rupees, nothing to sneeze at right before getting to town. They'll be able to easily buy the bottle vendor item and maybe top off on bombs if they want to. With just the bow as your weapon, maybe having a couple more bombs is fine. If the mini Moldorms happen to give you some issues. I guess they do only have one arrow, don't they?
SageLord picked up the cape out of Sanctuary. It's one of those early items that's points to a possible early Aga Tower. But yeah, the 300 rupees, definitely something that, unless they get bombs from either the crab or one of these upcoming tree pools, most likely, they're going to have to buy the bombs.
Alright, SageLord opting to go straight into the forest, not going to bother checking out the crab prize up top or the lumberjack ledge. And I like doing this as well. I typically try to put off checking the ledge until I have boots because it's hard to say because, you can get easy supplies from the bush crab as well, so it's really kind of a gamble. But we will be able to see it. Estragon looks like they are headed up.
We have a heart refills on the bush crab, and the tier 2 tree prize was just a small magic pot, so that's definitely not something they'll ever come back to.
Well, Estragon went up and checked the bush crab, but did not check the ledge, so I guess Aghanim's item will remain a mystery. We did get a map check earlier. Eastern Palace was the red pendant, and Desert and Harrow were both unimportant crystals.
It's a little disappointing to get the bow so early and have a pendant Eastern. It discourages you from that otherwise great opportunity to pick up an early crystal.
Yeah, that's just how it is, isn't it? They may end up finishing it anyway if they know Armos has an item, because I don't know. It's really a pain to get back to, but, I mean, red pendant, whatever.
I wonder if Estrogen forgot to check the lumberjack cave, or intentionally skipped it. Going pretty close to it, not checking it is something that you don't typically see. Glove and a hammer so far, and Kakariko on SageLord's side.
Well, geez, those are pretty nice items to find right next to each other. It's a really convenient timing for that bottle as well. They can also maybe sell the bee if it ends up being the gold bee. They can sell it to the bottle vendor to get their 100 rupees back, actually. Which may not actually be a problem because they already have 600, finding 2 of the 300 rupee drops already.
Well, we're only 1 moon pearl away from Dark World access at 9 minutes, which is a pretty nice start. And boots now.
There's the third 300 rupee. Okay, so there's enough money for the rest of the game.
Boots is one of those items that it's always great to get as early as possible. It saves you so much time, but especially before the library check. If there's anything there, they'll be able to get it without having to backtrack.
Yeah, they're getting pretty convenient items here. Oh, that's SageLord's last bomb. I can definitely see them buying bombs now, especially with all the cash they have.
And they're getting the boots before library, bottle before sick kid, flute on the bottle vendor is pretty much the best thing they could have gotten. That would have been the trifecta there.
Yep, as predicted, both players picking up bombs here. I suppose they could, if they wanted to, just run up and check Aghanim and then debonk rocks, but I don't know. I'd probably finish this southern loop first, or finish up, like, the library. There's really no reason to run all the way up to the bonk rocks when you have the library right there that provides the same purpose.
A lot of players, well, not a lot of players. Some players do say that they will not check the lumberjack item until they have boots and they know they can access it. Now, hopefully they'll check that when they do eventually do bonk rocks, because now they have the ability to access it.
Speaking of another good early item, we had the mirror right there. From the, that was the sick kid had that, yeah. Man, oh man. Well, we're just a pearl away from Dark World access, and with that Dark World access, we already have the mirror to check all of the stuff that you wish you had the mirror for your first time through.
I saw just either 50 or 100 rupees on the racing game, so SageLord decided he did not need that.
Oh no, Estragon's headed to the... I think Estragon's headed to the Dark World portal, but you don't have the Moon Pearl, dude.
He can still use the mirror, but I don't see how that will help him.
Speaking of the mirror, SageLord's going to be using a little fun thing with the mirror here. If you push blocks while spamming the mirror, they just kind of get eaten, which is pretty silly, but it helps in situations like this because it only lets you do one trip into the dam here. Estragon checking his map before going through the portal and realizing that, oh crap, I don't have the Moon Pearl. Oh, but there's our Dark World check. Skullwoods is Crystal 5, Myers Crystal 6. The green pendant is the Palace of Darkness, and the blue pendant is Ice Palace.
That's just cruel. Both Pod and Eastern are pendants, so that really devalues their early bow and hammer.
That's amazing. Estragon! No, you gotta leave, dude. Oh, I think he accidentally... Okay. I see. Anyway, SageLord getting the mini Moldorm cave here. These guys are big bullies. The hammer hitbox is particularly awful. They have only one shot with the bow. Luckily they have that blue mail, because these guys do a foolhardy damage.
Switching over to bomb strats to be safe with only 1.5 hearts left.
It's not a bad idea at all, I think.
It's possible that... Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
So say it's possible that Estragon simply wanted the Dark World map check and knew that he did not have access.
Oh, maybe. Oh no, gets caught by the lady and is hightailing it out of there. I wondered there for a second if they were going to run up to check out the bunk rocks, but looks like they are coming down here. But unfortunately, there are not items down here. Not good ones, anyway.
We're going to get the first Ice Rod Cave check by SageLord.
Yeah, this is a place I like. I've seen some people avoid just because of how far out of the way it is, but with boots it really isn't that bad. With fleets it's even faster. You definitely don't want to put it off, especially if it's something you need. But because it can really kind of bite you in the butt.
So do you think an Eastern play is in order at this point?
Man, I would have to say, I guess. I don't know. They don't really have any other options unless they want to sequence break up the Death Mountain right now.
Well, they have money for Zora, and they can do the Aegina's Cave, but those one-off checks aren't necessarily ideal when you have 5 to 6 potential items in Eastern, depending on whether you want to sequence break the Dark Rooms.
Yeah, this is probably the better choice in my opinion. What have we got? Ooh, the book and ether, huh? SageLord is going to take the bait straight down into Desert Palace, I think. When you have the boots and the book, I feel like that kind of screams desert, especially this early on.
It's potentially a little dangerous without a fire source. We'll not be able to complete desert.
Yeah,
but this is a good reason, a good excuse to route in the inconvenient Aegina's Cave. Of course, there's the desert ledge, and at least one item to be able to get in the desert itself. So 3 items over here versus 3 in Eastern. That seems to be an even play.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to stay out of Pendant Dungeons if you can avoid it, but like you said earlier, that fire source may come back to haunt him. Yeah, small refill of bombs. Not exactly what you're looking for, but I guess it's kind of welcome when you know you don't when you don't have a million bombs already. Dashing through this area to the Ice Rod Cave is really annoying without a sword. There's so many bushes that are conveniently placed in your way.
They're absolutely lined up. This place is meant to be dashed through. Those crabs, they normally do 2 hearts of damage, but even with the blue mail, 1 heart is still significant at this point. And 3 hearts left on Estragon.
Speaking of hearts, we have a lot of health right now. Holy cow. We saw a quake there on the desert ledge, so they're going to have 2 medallions before even entering the Dark World. Significantly lessening the chance that they will be unable to enter the 2 dungeons that require them. But of course not giving them access to Ice Palace, because there's no Bombos quite yet. Not that they are close to being able to get there anyway, but is pretty much the only one that has like a secondary function, I guess. Estragon showing off the water walk glitch here, gonna be dashing around and checking out the ledge here, and I guess going in. Oh my gosh!
It's on the floating. It's on the Lake Hartley Island.
Ooh, hoo hoo! That's some very good early information that SageLord does not have right now.
It's good information, and it also means that flippers are going to be relatively early accessible because they're required by the logic in order to get that item.
And the powder right there as well. Definitely a great safety item, though with all the health they have and blue mail, I don't think it will play that big of a role, but it's an item check. Whoa!
There's the fire source.
The fire source on the fire source.
Well, desert is now fully completable, and SageLord is going to get that crystal. Estragon looks like going to continue the fake flipper path. Will not be able to get the Zor's ledge item, but can still get the waterfall items. Opted not to get the waterfall. Sorry, doesn't have the moon pearl. Cannot get those items.
Yeah, the fake flipper glitch. Ooh, don't get hit by the crab. Ugh. The fake flipper glitch does allow you to get up here, but it doesn't allow you to access those chests in there unless you have the moon pearl to kind of reset Link's state to kind of a standing position. It's kind of funky, but without the moon pearl, you can't check those items.
Estragon does not have the book, so it doesn't know desert is an option yet. Most likely at this point, checking all these one-off locations to avoid the possibility of having to do the tower. Now, SageLord does not have enough fire rod shots to kill all 3 land Molas, so we're going to see either bombs or hammer to finish them off, or bow.
Yeah, there was a small magic in the pots right before that they could have done, that they could have grabbed there, but landing all 5 of those shots anyway.
They're very well aimed shots. I'm opting to use the hammer over the bow to save some arrows. He has the health and he has the blue mail, so it makes sense to save the ammunition.
Quick, easy fight. With the resources you have, you can't be too sad about that. Alright, Estragon found the book and the Ether Medallion, but is opting to go in Eastern Palace, it looks like, rather than taking the bait street to Desert. Desert, pretty cool with that Fire Rod and being completable, but that's not any additional progression right now. That still doesn't give you Dark World access or anything like that, so Moon Pearl can still be over here in Eastern.
Absolutely. If Moon Pearl's over here, Estrogen may go directly to Dark World, and it could be a while before they do find that fire rod.
If there is indeed something in the Eastern Palace, SageLord won't be too far behind, dashing right over there right now.
Eastern Palace is just a dream to have the boots in. It was obviously in vanilla you do this without the boots, so it's oddly designed to be so boots friendly.
Yeah, there's a lot of straight paths in this, straight long paths.
Fortunately, with SageLord, not having the sword doesn't get to do that Popo Slaughter dash, which is one of the most satisfying places to dash in the entire game.
Yeah, we still don't have a sword quite yet, do we?
They both picked up their second bottle, having a red potion, so they do have quite a bit of safety now.
Someone else can chat what the Moon Pearl does, and that's fine. There's people of all experiences who both watch and play these games. So, I mean, people have already answered in chat, but I might as well talk it about. The Dark World in this game is kind of like just an alternate to the Light World, which you start in. It has harder enemies and dungeons and stuff like that, but you need the Moon Pearl, which is right there, what Estragon just picked up, in order to actually do anything, much of anything in the Dark World, or else you get turned into a bunny, which may look funny depending on your character sprite. There's definitely like callouts and references. That was the third item, wasn't it, there in the big chest?
I wasn't counting.
We got the red potion, we got a heart piece from the big chest, and the Moon Pearl, so... yeah, there's only 3 items in Eastern Palace. Estragon looks like they're heading towards Armos, but Armos will not have an item, and will have the red pendant, which is probably not going to be used.
This is a difficult room to do to get just the pendant without that third item. But it looks like that he got the key and he's going to be through the room successfully. That's a difficult room to do. It's very well executed.
Yeah, it seemed like it went pretty good, even though I couldn't see anything. With the Fire Lord, SageLord head, that would have been super easy, but you know.
I'm sure both players are having quite a lot of fun with this seed. They both, prior to the interview, said that the item they wanted to see the most is the mirror, which they both found very early on, and avoiding any fetch quest items. Unfortunately, SageLord's thing that he didn't want to see was a swordless mode, so can't have everything.
Well, swordless mode aside, we've been trying to find some pretty good stuff here. There's half magic, and the lamp was in here as well. So even though they don't have a sword, I don't think I'd be complaining about this item set right now. It's pretty decked out. Of course, we will still need to find some things, like the fire, not the fire, the ice rod. Of course, we need to find that, and Samaria, and we know the flippers will be fairly soon because they lock the Titansmiths.
Well, finding that lamp puts Estrogen back into the logic officially with that dark room that he did.
I suppose, to get the red pendant.
Well, Estrogen has that Dark World pendant knowledge and knows that Pod is also a pendant, so he may have just wanted to get it done while he was here.
Have they done a map check? They have done a map check. We know what all the crystals are. Eastern Palace was the red pendant, Ice Palace was the blue pendant, and Palace of Darkness was the green pendant. And 5 and 6 were Skull Woods and Misery Mire. Estragon gonna be checking out the Bonk Rocks here. I don't think SageLord has done this yet. With the mirror, though, it can definitely be done, you know, right after coming this way in the Dark World. What did the tablet say? The bombless tablet had 10 arrows on it. Of course, with the book, you can read the tablets but not get the item on there. They gave you a hint as to what is on them. We'll need to find the Master Sword before actually being able to pick it up, though. And there is our first sword.
So we are getting our lumberjack check on Estragon's side. Just 300 rupees, so
Another
Agate is
300
not
rupees.
required.
Oh my gosh, I think that's... I think there's 5 300 rupees? There's either 4 or 5 300 rupee drops, and I think that's the 4th one we've seen. Looks like Estragon is headed towards the Dark World here from the town side, so they're not going to be having their fire rod yet. They may, if they loop down towards the swamp area, they may they may remember, oh, maybe I should do desert while I'm down here. I don't know. They'll probably walk over to Hype Cave and not do that. We'll see.
Unless they get to the point where they're blocked by not having fire rod, I think most likely players tend to want to loop in desert with Mire, so they'll most likely be waiting for the flute.
Yeah, that'd actually be super convenient if they got to do that. Honestly, after Estragon finds the lamp in Hype Cave, it will probably push them even more down towards desert. They may be trying to avoid, oh, I can clear this if I had a fire source. Little do they know, the fire rod's just sitting there.
The lamp might also push them up to a Death Mountain. They can do Tower of Hera with the Mirror, and Hammer gives them access to the right side of Light World Death Mountain.
Yeah, it sure does. That definitely will... Actually, that's probably a little more tempting, isn't it, than 2 or 3 items from desert area.
With Hera being a crystal they can complete, and all the other items up there, it's possible.
There's 1 item out of Skullwoods already. Only 2 items in here, so it might be a pretty short trip. Well, it is crystal, and SageLord does have the fire rod and a sword, so they will be able to complete it if they want to. Moth can be a pretty tricky fight with just the fire, or with just the fighter's sword, but I think with this amount of health and half magic, I don't think it'll be too bad at all, actually.
Yeah, they have 16 fire rod shots with full half magic, and they need 8 to kill. I believe it's 8, so they should have no trouble at all.
It is 8, yeah. You'd think the fire rod would do more damage than the Master Sword to Mothula, but they actually do the same amount. Estragon opting to kind of clean out Thieves Town first, which is fine. Blind might be... I don't know how experienced they are with swordless blind, but we might be able to see that if they don't find one here. Yeah, someone's pointing out in chat, we'll probably get a pedestal check after Skullwoods here. Oh, the second item!
Hookshot on SageLord's side.
Yeah, second item in Skullwoods is the hookshot.
And SageLord did a very nice bomb jump there without the boot dash bonk. That's only a buffer of 2 pixels instead of 6 pixels in order to line that up. So very well done for SageLord.
Alright, SageLord heading to the back of Skullwoods, grabbing that emergency key right there. I say emergency, but it's actually required, isn't it? If they don't go out of their way to find any more keys. Yeah, Skullwoods has a bunch of useless keys, because you only need, like, what, 2 to finish the dungeon, and there's 2 under pots kind of on the way, so it's really... It's just kind of unfortunate. 1 key can make it, a little more convenient right at the first, right after the first fall, but whatever.
I think in the key sanity mode, when the keys are randomized throughout the world, Skullwoods is one of those dungeons that you don't need to find even a single key.
Yeah, I believe in that mode the boss checks for, well, I guess this mode too. The boss checks for having all of the keys available, so you can get to a point where it's very easy to sequence break this dungeon, I guess you could say. Estragon getting beat up pretty bad by those grasshopper enemies. Only has 4 hearts going back towards the downstairs part of Thieves Town here. While SageLord is fighting Montula, runs out of magic, but I think they got a good number of hits in. And one more hammer finishes it off.
Estragon made very good use of that powder. There's plenty of anti-fairies in this dungeon, and they're all fully topped off at this point. There's one more by the princess's cell, blind cell, under a pot. They can buffer the bunny beam.
Yeah, you can powder the bunny beams before they actually leave the pots, which is pretty funny. So if you know exactly where they are, you don't have to worry about them coming after you at all. And here's our pedestal check. It is nothing. Who would have thought? I can't believe it.
Well, it's definitely good to get out of the way. If you can route it in after completing Skullwoods, it's an easy check.
Oh, for sure. Even if you're only missing, say, 1 item, I still think it's worth it to check. If you just happen to be in that situation after Skullwoods right there. Alright, SageLord heading down to the Village of Outcasts. I can only imagine they'll knock out Thieves Town on the way here. It's a quick, easy dungeon, but it doesn't seem like it had anything of worth inside, unless Blind happens to have something. Speaking of, here we go, Estragon, onto their Hammer Blind fight.
The ice rod up on Bumper Cave.
Ooh, they do have the cape, don't they? Yeah, they do. It's a very nice item to find. Don't have to worry about that later when you're hunting around the entire world and dipping into pendant dungeons, because all you need is the stupid ice rod to finish Turtle Rock.
Estragon is on to the final phase of Blind. 3 more hits.
No, SageLord took a fall on the top ledge there.
That's an excellent hammer blind fight.
Yeah, that 3rd phase went pretty well, actually. And just 50, dang. So you actually don't need the hookshot to get through Bumper Cave like some people starting might think. You can actually just kind of hug the top there. Funny enough, SageLord did have the hookshot, didn't use it, and still fell, which is... they're probably laughing about that.
I think if you read that sign there, it actually says you need the cape, but not the hookshot.
That's exactly what it says, yep. My first time I needed that, I remember asking Discord, and someone just told me to read the sign. And then I read the sign. Estragon discovering that they don't have the mitts, but fortunately they do know exactly where the mitts are, hanging out on the lake island. SageLord does not have that information yet, but without the flippers right now, I think it's fine. Oh god, those birds almost murdered SageLord.
Yeah, the Murder-Dactyls, they do quite a bit of damage. I think SageLord at this point is going to finish these northern Dark World checks, Graveyard Ledge, and of course, because they don't have the mitts, this is the perfect time to check King's Tomb by using the mirror.
Can they get back to that portal?
That might be tight.
Oh, just barely. So I want to tell you what a race is. These players are racing against each other. The person who finishes first wins. Oh, win a races, not what a race is. Well, that would be the schedule page. That makes a little more sense, I think.
Just a red rupee in Graveyard Ledge.
Graveyard Ledge is such a hard place to come to check if you, I don't know, if you've already checked, like, the boots locations, and you don't need to be up here for anything else, it's definitely a hard check. But luckily, they need to do all of this stuff, so might as well.
SageLord definitely, by having the boots, the mirror, coming out of Skullwoods is the perfect time, and picking up silver arrows is an excellent reward for the trouble.
Not bad. with so many dungeons left to do, they can probably get some good use out of those. Well, now that I say that, I think the only boss that'll really help with is Mothula, huh? Or not Mothula. I'm sorry, Vitreous.
It could save a little bit of time on Argus on the final phase.
Oh sure, especially if they still only have Fighter Sword at that point. They may opt to just shoot him in the head once.
So Estragon did his K45 check and picked up his first Fighter Sword, so that will now make dashing much easier.
Yes. The Slayer of Bushes. Definitely the hardest enemy to get through when you don't have a sword. Oh no, this stupid moblin. Giving him the business. I just want to go down to Hype Cave. Alright, SageLord going through Thieves Town. Gotta do what you gotta do. Crystal Dungeon. Nothing in here of note, though. Estragon will be finding their lamp, though. So where is that going to send them?
You think they'll do a Bombos check and then head in the desert? Or do you think this will lead them up to Pyramid and potentially Pod?
Well, we know which one is ideal, but... they are saving neither is the
Time
option.
for option 3, which might be the Death Mountain play that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, you did mention that, and I think with the saving quit the Sanctuary, I think you might be right. Well, at least we know it'll get done eventually, because they have to do desert, so they'll definitely get down there. And the Fire Rod doesn't seem to be locking anything in Skullwood, so I don't think it'll be too bad. Yeah, because they'll find it eventually. The only other thing they need that for is Turtle Rock, which is whatever. We can't get into there without Samaria anyway. And the flippers to get the mids.
They need it for Skullwoods, but you know, if they find the flippers up here, then that's going to lead them to get the mids, which is going to give them more progression options. If they get the flute up here, in addition, that will probably lead them over to the Mire area, and they'll check desert even sooner.
Yeah, I think if they're presented with an option to maybe say go into Turtle Rock without the Fire Rod, I would only assume them to go clear Crystal Dungeons first before trying to make that gamble on Fire Rod, Liz Turtle Rock, or something like that. So, that being the only other place the Fire Rod will be required, I can only imagine that they won't miss finding it before they need it again.
Fortunately, even if they do make that decision, going into Turtle Rock without the Fire Rod isn't anywhere as bad as going out without the Ice Rod.
That's true.
Because Fire Rod does block the whole right side.
It's possible with key layouts they could make it all the way to Laser Bridge, but that's pretty unlikely, so... I don't know, I still don't think they'd do it. Anyway, we're getting up here to our Ether Tablet check, and Tower of Hera. Or the opposite way, I guess.
They may be skipping the Ether check initially in case they find another sword, and then they can actually use the tablet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And honestly, I just don't like changing my items, so since I already have the Mire equipped, might as well go into Hera first, even though they didn't use it right there to get back. That's fine. Gets a small key from the first chest. We had the 20 rupee drop in the left side basement. I'd rather have to do the Hera basement than have to gamble on Hera basement, so I think this is... I much prefer to have to do this.
Absolutely. You know that your opponent is going to be forced to do it as well, rather than take that gamble. So it makes the time even out.
I love that tile in the top left that just breaks on the wall it's right next to if it has to go anywhere left, I think.
So this
coffee
being...
break.
Sorry, let's say this being the Swiss tournament, round 0, was entirely randomized. As the Swiss tournaments progress, you're paired with people that have the same score as you, so you tend to get closer in skill levels to your opponents. Both of these runners have been only playing Randomizer for between 2 and 5 months, so they appear very evenly matched. It's nice to see an even match this early on.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Nice. That feels like a pretty short time, honestly. I think I've been playing for about a year or so now.
Yeah, it definitely looks like both of them have put in their time doing practice. They have very nice execution for less than half a year.
Alright, SageLord has the whole western side of Dark World done. Where are you headed next? Oh, probably to Death Mountain. That would make sense. Oh, yep, there we go. They might do this the opposite way. They may go check out East Death Mountain first before looping up to Hera. And our other item in Hera was just a full heart. So, well, whatever. Nothing of value.
Estrogen opting to pick up that big chest the traditional way, falling down from the 3rd floor, rather than doing the bomb jump across.
Yeah, I may not be confident with that bomb jump, and I think that's fine, because if you don't get that, you fall 2 levels, and it's pretty bad. You fall all the way down to the... Gosh, it's the 1st floor, isn't it? Oh no! Speaking of falling 2 floors...
Unfortunately, the middle hole is the double level drop.
SageLord gets the, with a hook shot, you get an easy spin hook dash thing right there. That's the technical term, I'm sure.
If anybody's not familiar with what SageLord did there, there's item dashes and sword spins that are accomplished by, in this case, using the hook shot and the dash within the same frame. Puts you into a state of permanent boots speed mode when you exit a ladder. So that's what they used to quickly navigate Death Mountain. And Estrogen unfortunately took a second fall to Moldorm. Moldorm is one of those bosses that you can kill in 3 hits with the hammer very easily. You can do that 4 out of 5 times, and then that 5th time, the patterns just get you, and it's an entirely different fight.
Yeah, the hammer skips all that by just kind of going over the final fast phase. If they really want to, they have half magic in the cape. So if the fight looks like it's getting a little dangerous there, such as if they're going to get a fast phase, they can just don that cape and be just fine, but well, there we go. Had a little bit of a scuffle there, but gotta get it done.
Even knowing that Estrogen already picked up both items, it feels like you should get more than a compass for all that trouble.
I know, right? Give me that legendary 3rd Hera item, please. Did you see what I had to go through? Not gonna bother checking the tablet. SageLord did check it, and I believe it was just an arrow upgrade, so it's not like they're gonna be missing out on anything.
So that if they end up having to search for Go mode items later on, that might come back to get them.
Yeah, that's definitely a pain in the butt to come all the way up there to check. Alright, into Spiral Cave. Luckily they do have the boots, so it's just a quick dash around. It's always annoying to have to do that without the boots. Was that another full heart? We have 13 hearts right now. We've barely scratched the Dark World. I don't know. I feel like Skullwoods and Thieves Town is still barely scratching, even though I guess we have seen quite a bit of it, haven't we?
We have five chests now in Paradox Cave that Estragon is going to pick up on the right-hand side. Hopefully this will be flute flippers, some needed progression.
SageLord having the hookshot can just hookshot and bonk back. That makes that really quick. Oh sure, let's get a 14th heart.
Estragon is not going upstairs.
Wait. They check the... Yeah, okay. Okay, they're remembering their layouts now. There we go.
Well, it is Paradox Cave. When you fall upwards, it can get confusing.
I definitely don't blame him for that. That's absolutely true. Oh, SageLord, be careful. That was almost off. There's Samaria.
A red cane of Samaria.
And that's it. Great.
The cane of Samaria doesn't actually open anything up at this point.
No, it really doesn't. So is something in the pod area then?
It looks like they're gonna have to dip into the Pendant Pod. I'm not sure they have too many other options.
Oh no, is Estragon headed up to check the tablet? Oh no. They can't do anything else up here without the Titan's mitts.
Just to answer a question from chat, it's called Paradox Cave because you enter a lower portion of the mountain, you fall down a hole, and you exit a higher portion of the mountain.
Yeah, Canis Samaria might open Misery Mire, except we don't have the Titan's mitts. The Titan's mitts are on the Lake Island, which they will not be able to get to without the flippers, of course. Oh, Estragon's headed into the Spike Cave, I see. With that half magic and cape, this is definitely doable.
Did Estragon check Ether by any chance? I didn't notice.
I don't think so. Ah, shucks.
Unfortunately, Spike Cave is one of those terminal locations that you kind of have to save and quit out of. Well, at this point, he's most likely being forced into the desert due to lack of other options, and that will get him the Fire Rod. He may go up to Skullwoods after that point, but at least he's going to get that key progression item.
Yeah, Skullwoods after this will be really nice, because it was the hookshot there, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it was in the big chest, and they just didn't do any of it.
Without the Titan's mitts, or the flippers at this point, the hookshot doesn't actually unlock anything new for them.
Yeah, but it's definitely good to, yeah, good thing to find. So those flippers have to be in the pod area, I'm thinking. Either that or, you know, pyramid or catfish, I suppose. There may be a couple one-off locations, but those actually might be pretty low. Actually, I don't think so. We might have actually checked everything else.
Did you notice which crystals were the 5-6? In the tracker, I don't see any marked as red.
They are Skullwoods and Misery Mire. SageLord, are you gonna check? Yeah, okay, he's gonna check the pyramid before heading into pod, or perhaps just both pyramid and catfish.
SageLord, I don't believe, has checked Zora yet either, so that may be, you know, a good thing to route in with catfish, something that's always difficult to route in.
Oh yeah, it makes catfish a lot, you know, more attractive, I think, when you can just mirror to Zora and haven't already checked it. But it looks like we are heading into pod. Have everything necessary to fully clear this dungeon, including the green... Yeah, we'll get the green pendant as a reward for this as well, if they decide to go that far.
And SageLord, I don't believe, went into Eastern, checked Sasha's hut, and then saved and quit. So this is 2 potential dungeons that they can check. Unfortunately, both pendants, but the item density here is very high.
Oh, that's true, yeah. And they've already checked the pedestal as well, so they know that they won't need to finish Eastern Palace because we'll find all 3 items very quickly.
Absolutely, and I don't think that there's any progression there, but it will be, it's like I said, it's good item density, and it's something that they can check quickly and get out of the way and have that peace of mind. Estragon just picking up that fire rod, and SageLord got a net as the first item, so that it means he's going to have to take the right side bow locked area in order to get any more progression in this dungeon.
I feel like this is totally confirmation bias. I don't take this as anything. I feel like if that chest isn't a key, it's the bug net. I feel like I've seen the bug net there so often, it's ridiculous. That's just me, though. That doesn't actually mean anything. Alright, Estragon, yeah, gets their fire rod on the torch, which is a great spot for it, actually. And... yeah, go ahead.
So I was just thinking about what you said. The net is one of those items that that you pick up so often, but you use so rarely that I can't really think where I find it most often.
Just those, yeah, you see it and you immediately forget. What was that again? Until you see it later in your inventory while you're trying to menu somewhere and there's a net in the way.
Estragon having half magic in the fire rod, as well as the sword now have a slightly easier Limnol's fight, but still pretty easy.
I'm gonna pick up the emergency magic anyway. That gives him 2 extra shots. With half magic, of course. Oh, that one barely got away. Honestly, I thought they were gonna get a double hit there. But, oh, and of course it gives him a short hop. The wrong way. Whatever. They go down. Yes, the pedestal was checked, and it is nothing of importance.
Oh, is SageLord setting up for a hammer jump?
Ooh, I saw bombs. Hey. I'm just gonna bomb it for later. Pretty nice dodge there on the mini Helmosaurs. Those guys can be kind of a pain to get around. Oh, flippers, where are you? They better not be a catfish, man. They're right there.
Yeah, there we go. Commentator's blessing.
There you go. Alright, SageLord can deduce that key door, that chest behind the key door, below where the flippers were, is a key, so they don't need to go check that. So don't worry, they didn't forget it. So this flipper will definitely lead them to the Titansmiths very shortly. As long as they don't die. I suppose even if they died, it would still lead them there, which is dramatic effect.
Now they're gonna need to die to get that free heart refill.
Helmosaur has an item, but SageLord is not interested in it. And after just finding the flippers, I don't think I'd be either.
That's a lot of work for one item. I'm a little bit more surprised that he didn't check Eastern while he was there.
He's really confident that that flipper is what he needed. Oh, you know what? That actually opens up Swamp Palace for him, doesn't it?
Swamp Palace and He has the ability to pick up the mitts now on the floating island, though I don't believe he knows that they are there.
No, I don't think so. Whenever he ran past there earlier, heading towards the pod warp, he didn't hop down and check that either. Oh, he was in Dark World at the time is why.
Chat points out that pod being the great green pendant means that there were 2 potential items left in pod.
Yeah, that's right. It's definitely bit me in the butt before skipping Helmasaur, and it's definitely been completely pointless for Estragon didn't actually pick up that chest, he just kind of walked up to it. Heading back there. Must have had a mispress on their A button or something. There you go.
Knowing that there's items in Eastern and that there's plenty of places to check elsewhere, it may make sense that if you do have to double back to do pod, you have the item density of Eastern as well. So you're not putting off just 2 chests, you're putting off 5 items. So it's not so much of a backtrack.
Yeah, it's crazy. You go to pod because it's 5 items, and then you leave and there's still 5 items in that area. Alright, SageLord's still looking for those elusive mitts, but we know they're not here. There actually just may be nothing here in Swamp Palace.
With the item density in Swamp Palace and the number of items they need, it would make sense to full clear this regardless.
Oh yeah, Sage cleared out Eastern Palace, didn't he? Because the Moon Pro was in there.
Ah, my mistake. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Macon.
I stole that from chat. I'm not gonna take the credit.
Oh, you pointed it out. We'll give you partial credit split between you and
Alright,
chat.
cool. I got half a gold star.
I feel that if you give chat full credit for something, it'll just go to their heads.
Estragon using the lamp on 3 of those torches there. Probably really concerned about their magic. They might not be too confident with the Mothula fight. I guess we'll see how it goes. With the hammer, it's only what? It's only 4 hammer hits as well, so that's definitely a worthy backup when they run out of magic. If they run out of magic.
Well, they still have that red potion, I believe. I don't think they used it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to powder the bunny beam and get that health refill.
Oh yeah, use the bee!
You're doing very well with the fighter sword.
Ow!
Kitoga's fighter sword Mothula is just be patient. Don't rush it. It's much better to take a little extra time than to die and have to come all the way back.
What a tease. Selecting the bee but not using it on Moth. I can't believe it. Alright, SageLord might be checking out the left side after this. They'll be able to check the big chest as well when they go do that.
Having found the map, there's going to be at least 1 item on the left-hand side, and 2 items now that he's found the compass. So the left side is the 3 items with the big chest, and there's just 2 left side items. It's definitely worth coming back in for.
Estragon, checking out the chest down here. I believe they have found both items already. They do have the... Oh wait, they don't have the hookshot yet. Oh, they came straight back here, didn't they? Rather than check out chest first, I guess? They would have the hookshot otherwise, I feel.
That makes sense. If you find both items in the Mothula area in the back, then you don't even have to bother with the front. So I see that coming. SageLord is deciding to use what we call the menu strats, switching back and forth between the hookshot and the hammer. Another option, if you only have fighter sword, is to do a spin. 2 fighter sword spins will kill it off as well.
Oh my gosh, this mini ring is a pain in the butt. This is one of the reasons I love having the boomerang, because it makes this easy if you don't have the shovel or the flute, this menu. Alternatively, you could do the faster strat of spinning with the fighter sword, but I mean, this is funny on its own. three movement menus take so long.
This fight is entirely within the logic, but it's difficult to do this and feel that you're not missing something.
Yo, nice shot.
Excellent shot. The silver arrow there, rather than having to do 4 hammer hits, is much better.
You know, they only did need one arrow, I suppose. The one arrow that they found at the beginning of the game. Just like you talked about.
Oh, they made it count. Yeah, doing the menu strats there, I always feel like I must have missed something. This can't possibly be what I have to do.
Oh shoot, they don't even... Sometimes they don't even give you weapons before fighting Landmola. Can the chat still hear me? Hello? Echo.
I can still hear you.
Oh, that's good. Alright, so... After this, honestly, SageLord is probably just going to... Since there wasn't anything in Swamp, they'll do the left side of Swamp. So... if nothing's there, even if something is there, they might just hop over onto the island and just mirror on top of the myths without even knowing what's there. I've definitely done that before, and it's worked out a couple times.
Well, they have the 2 waterfall locations to check, the hobo location, so it does make sense to head that direction. I wouldn't be surprised if before heading right there, they do a quick Bombos tablet check while they're here.
Oh yeah, I don't think they did that quite yet, did they?
That's difficult to route back in. You need to get the Dark World portal. It's not something that you can route in if you find purple chest later and then decide to flute with the purple chest. So this is an excellent time to do it.
Oh, there, I just got video back. I don't know how long we've had it back.
I had to refresh.
I was just commentating like I could see stuff. Just foretelling the future.
I'm hoping for vanilla Bombos.
Estragon did check the Bombos tablet. There wasn't anything there. It was just 10 arrows, I believe. So I guess we missed what was in the big chest, or at least I didn't see it. Oh no. This timing. Oh no. I can't see it. I don't know what's in there. It's 50 rupees. Alright, on the Dark World. SageLord is walking... It's going all the way up this way. I hope they're not going to Catfish. I really hope they just mirror on top of the myths. That'd be pretty funny. There we go. They are going down. Great, great, great. He's gonna get a nice surprise here.
I'll be very happy with this choice. not sure where to go now.
Like, wait a sec. Do I want to do this stuff or do I want to leave? How long have those been there?
I love those moments when you have a plan in your head and then it just completely changes.
Alright, so all we're really missing right now is the flute for a potential go mode. We don't know what the medallions of Misery Mire and Turtle Rock are yet, because we just got the stupid myths. But having 2 medallions, it feels pretty likely that we may already have access to them. Sage, we're gonna be checking out Dark Death Mountain immediately.
Yeah, deciding not to do the waterfall fairy check. Oh, this dead rock is really giving them trouble.
Oh, they can squeeze through that, right? Nice.
I think there comes a point where you just have to use Quake and pour powder on them and just you know, get your revenge.
Right, Estragon heading into the Palace of Darkness. We'll be able to find their flippers in the back of it. Curious to see if they stick around or not. Probably not, considering they know exactly where the myths are. Ooh, a little bit of quick setup there, but gets that block clip very nice.
Oh, with having the knowledge of those myths, it's a very low probability that they may continue to check the dark maze, but I doubt they'll continue and clear the dungeon in its entirety.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
Flippers are in pod.
We know where they are. We don't know where they've been, though.
I think they've been in Zora's domain for 30 or so years. Now they're in pod.
There's Ether. Alright, we do have that one, so Turtle Rock is fully clearable right now. Sage, we're gonna go ahead and open it up. I don't think they checked Spike Cave yet.
SageLord has not. That's something that is very easy to route in after Turtle Rock. Just run over there and then save and quit out.
I know. I just thought it was curious that they ran over here to check out Turtle Rock first before just hopping into Spike Cave in hopes of, like, a sword or something. Are they gonna go check it? No, they're headed right in. Okay, sure, why not? Well, it's your decision. I won't judge.
Spike Cave is, you have to save and quit out of there and then climb the mountain again, but checking Hookshot Cave and Paradox Cave, those two definitely make sense before going into Turtle Rock.
We're gonna be able to see a fighter's sword, kind of a hammer Trinex, I guess, won't we?
Hammer Trinex is definitely one of those fights that you do need to practice.
Yeah, it's only 5 hits per head, but it's still really awkward to do because of the, well, the small hitbox and the knockback you hit kind of being a little weirder considering how much closer you have to get compared to a sword.
It's very difficult with only 8 magic shots, so half magic is a godsend when it comes to that. Blue Nail and 14 hearts, should give them enough health that they'll be able to pull it off. Excellent chain chomp room for SageLord. Didn't take a single hit.
Yeah, I love that double Samaria block strat there. I'm starting to feel like, since we haven't seen another sword yet, the probability that one is here seems pretty high. I don't know. So it just wouldn't surprise me to see Master Sword before we actually get the Trinex. Alright, Estragon, are you staying or are you going? You are out
He
of
is
here.
out of there.
Well, no, he's not. Oh, I guess I would mirror in that situation too. I guess save and quit would have been better, but if he's going, he doesn't have any keys. You missed the chest somewhere. Nope, he's gone. Yep, see ya. This is a hard decision to make. You know where the myths are, you can get them right now. But there's still 2 items left here. Oh, did he not check this one? Question mark? No, he didn't.
This will be the key. And
Yeah,
then
that'll...
one of the two items in the vanilla big key chest may decide to just do that and not Helmasaur.
I think they've checked everything else, so in this situation, behind the locked doors would just be other keys. So yeah, there'll be a key in that chest right there. So it looks like he's going to Helmasaur. If the flute happens to be on Helmasaur, or from the green pennant, I suppose too, this could be pretty big.
This is the first significant gamble that we've seen from either of the players that could give them a big divergence. So now we've had alternating routes, but they've been fairly standard.
Yeah, SageLord seems to have been just kind of at an advantage the majority of this race, I feel. But the location of this flute could definitely pull Estragon ahead if it happens to be in a kind of a weird one-off location like this. Especially in a dungeon that SageLord has already completed all of except the boss.
And Turtle Rock is so far not being very good for any progression items. They're getting a lot of capacity upgrades.
Got the legendary tin bomb upgrade.
I think they can hold about 400 bombs at this point.
400. Well, good. They can spend their 1,400 rupees on bombs. Oh no, I have a little bit of trouble with these stupid turtles. Oh my gosh, they keep popping up on their face. There we go.
Even with Blue Mail, 3 hearts is a little bit less than you'd want to go into Helmasaur, though. With silver arrows, that will make the phase 2 easy enough to take care of it.
Here's Bombos, great. So now they can for sure get into Mr. Mire, and there is the flute. So finding both of those items right there for sure puts SageLord in go mode, except without a sword. Ooh, we still need Master Sword.
There's no doubt that he's happy to have found that. As it seems to be the case with Turtle Rock progression, the items are in the very last chest.
And as you predicted, one quick silver arrow to Helmasaur's head. I don't know what could be here anymore that might help catch Estragon up, except the sword, because that's just about it, isn't it? Man, finding that medallion with the flute was actually really ideal, because now they just don't have to worry about Bombos being Mire's medallion at all.
SageLord is facing one of the biggest difficulties with doing the hammer strats, is that you cannot switch your weapon until the firehead is completed exploding.
I did like the extra fire rod shots there to do a little more damage. There was a Master Sword on Sahasrahla.
Wow, that actually could be very, very, very valuable.
Yeah, depending on where the other ones are, that may actually be super important.
If you get a situation where the remaining 2 swords are in, let's say, Ice Palace, then SageLord could end up clearing all of GT looking for a sword, and that could let Estragon catch up entirely.
It'd have to be a pretty specific situation, but there's always a possibility. That's why people never say races are over until they're over.
Well, that was a pretty specific example.
Yeah, that's that. You never know. Alright, Estragon is heading into Swamp Palace. There was nothing in here. Nothing at all. So it's just going to be another time sink for this crystal. Well, SageLord heads over to Hookshot Cave, presumably. And I don't know, maybe there's a sword there, but I'm sure Mire is next on the list.
Yeah, you can't afford to pass up high density locations like Hookshot Cave that are easily accessible when you still only have the fighter sword. Uh, Though it's tempting to go mode some of the more one-off locations, 4 items in one spot is just too good.
I hope we get to see what's in Hookshot Cave. I'm curious. Though I guess we'll be able to. Oh, he's already out and still has the fighter sword, so there probably wasn't anything there. Yeah, quickly making their way over to activate their duck. There's still, what, 3 items in the Mire area, plus the 2 in Mire itself, I guess? So, there's still definitely chances for a sword. He's probably not that worried about it. If you don't find a sword by the time you get to Ganon's tower, there's probably a sword or 2 in Ganon's tower.
Exactly. I mean, 22 locations other than the big key that could have a sword. That's most people are confident that they'll look for one. I do expect him to check the Mire Shed and Checkerboard Cave before going into Mire. If he finds a sword there, then he might just go mode Mire, save a little bit of time.
Yeah, I would definitely be agreeing with that. Gonna be topping off on potions here. Maybe not too confident with their potential Master Sword Ganon, though I guess they do have silvers and half magic cape, so it wouldn't be that bad even if they had to.
Silvers saves them the 20 sword spins in phase 4. That's definitely the worst of it. But if you have to go to Witch's Hut to turn in the mushroom, picking up some potions doesn't take any extra time.
No idea why that duck just kind of flew on past. Hey Link, how's it going? Did you find the Master Sword yet? No, shut up. Well, there's a blue weapon, but it's kind of not the right one. And as you predicted, checking these out first. Go mode Mire is definitely, well, can be a good time save. It's not really a good time save if, you know, the big key happens to be in its vanilla location or on the right side, depending on what your fancy is at the time.
Yeah, so Chad is very happily correcting me on chest counts. I said 22 besides the big key spot. I was thinking the 22 downstairs plus the big key chest. But then, of course, there's 4 upstairs, so 26 chests that could have a sword. I will now correct myself and save a tiny shred of dignity.
And vow never to be wrong again.
I will not make that vow.
Estragon doing an interesting route. They went and got the big key from the water drain room, whatever you call that one. They went and opened up the big chest, and now they're doing left side. They're still gonna have to go back and fight Argus. I think at this point it just would be faster. If you're gonna do the left side anyway, and you found the big key late, I think it's probably definitely faster to go fight the boss and just come back into the dungeon and check all 3 of them in one go.
I do believe that is the case. I don't know if Esther John they saw the map and the big key saw it, and they knew they were going to have to backtrack for 2 items. Did they get into the waterfall room and get the compass to know that they'd have to backtrack for 3?
No, they found the big key in the water drain room and then immediately took the stairs up.
So SageLord is in an excellent position here. He's got plenty of health, plenty of magic, and more than enough arrows to make Vitreous a very quick fight.
Yeah, I can't imagine found both items in here, so it looks like he's not interested in item hunting in Mire, and I definitely don't blame him for that as well. I would definitely just skip all this and just hope to find a sword in GT.
With only 2 items in Mire, it's a lot of work for very little reward.
Yeah, I agree.
Compared to the, I will now say, 26 non-big key chests in Ganon's Tower.
Getting through that room right there before Vitreous without getting hit feels good. Just barely dodging both of those hazards. Man, not even scared. Gets right up in the faces of those eyes. I guess the eyes of those eyes. They don't really have faces. Not even scared. Takes them all out very, very quickly. All right. So with that, SageLord is going to be heading up to Ganon's tower. There are... Wait, was that the command? Did I do it wrong?
We may not be set up with the privileges.
Oh, maybe you're right. Anyway, we like to play a little game here where you throw numbers in chat and hope that you know where the Ganon's tower big key is. I don't know, I got to do it before, I'm pretty sure.
Well, this is going to be a friendly race. Anybody who wants to participate can guess which chest they anticipate the big key will be in, 1 to 22. It doesn't appear that the bot is running, unfortunately, so we may not be able to record these results, but it's the spirit of the game that counts. Meekin, do you have a guess?
Oh, jeez. Oh gosh. Tell you what, to make this race more interesting, I hope it's before they find a sword. Getting bullied by these Lionels, just shooting fireballs straight down the bridge.
Well, then I guess 22 would be the best place for SageLord. Giving him that motivation to continue checking in attempts to find a sword. I think he's probably going to keep checking until he finds a sword regardless of where the big key is. I personally do like to see it in the randomizer room, just to give credit to the randomizer.
Yeah, the the item logic that goes into all the different modes in this is pretty crazy. Making sure that everything is 100% obtainable, besides some keys, of course.
So he finds a key in the second chest on the right side, is opting not to continue on the right side. So we're coming up on location 3, no key.
Yeah, we did get confirmation that the bot was down right now, so apologies. We don't have any official game, but any unofficial game you want to play by yourself, that's perfectly fine.
We got confirmation the bot is mostly down. So.
Mostly, not entirely. Ooh, free blue potion, that's fine. After buying 2 of them already, I guess. The stun price seems to be 5 arrows. I don't know if we saw that already. We probably did, and I just didn't realize it. But that's definitely convenient when you didn't have too many arrows left before heading upstairs.
So that's the 7th chest checked. Just a red ruby in number 8. That is one of the better stun prizes you can find. It's something that you you'd like to get knowledge about early in the game, but finding it in Ganon's Tower, you know, that's not too late.
Yeah, especially they had the bow really early too, but I don't think the first boomerang or hookshot came for a good while.
Small key number 8. Here's my favorite place, that randomizer room. Named because nobody goes here if they're not playing randomizer. I'll admit that I did not even know this existed until I played randomizer.
Alright, estragon0, we can't see what's in these chests. I saw the 5th 300 rupee drop. Great, I'm glad they found all of those.
So SageLord has checked 12 chests so far. Still no big key.
Honestly, I would like... Yeah, I think you were correct, and he would probably like a late big key because it gives him more chance to check chests for a sword. I think right there in that situation, if you just let that blue guy hit you, he'll hit you across the portal, so you won't get sucked in if you happen to like miss your first bonk.
That is true. He will knock you in. But you had an opportunity to get 5 more hours. Hours are always good. It's 13.
Alright, estragon heading into Turtle Rock. Not gonna find anything until the very end, where they will get everything they could ever want. That's right, vanilla big key chest? Nope. And
16, he's gonna have to go to the right side.
he did have an opportunity to go to the right side. Because there was a key over here, I think, right?
There was a key. He could have gone right initially. That was an
Yeah,
option.
oh well.
It's you know, a lot of people do like the left route. I think there's no correct choice until after you've seen the race.
Yeah, that's true. Can a sword not be in Ganon's Tower? Ganon's Tower is absolutely available to have swords. I've definitely seen a Ganon's Tower that had 3 swords before, so it's definitely possible.
Yes, but there does not have to be one here. All 4 swords can be in other places.
There it is. Alright, SageLord is heading up Ganon's Tower with the fighter sword. If there's not a sword up here, he's gonna have to go item hunting before going into Ganon, because you cannot damage Ganon with the fighter sword in any way.
Very interesting routing that green pendant turned out to be. Potentially game-changing progression.
Well, okay, so if there isn't a sword up here, where do we have left to go? It's pretty much just Ice Palace, right?
Well, he's most likely he will check Tile Room while he's here.
Well, after the boss, you're not here anymore.
Oh, that's right. You can't mirror back in. My mistake. I don't even know why I thought I was thinking that. Yeah, Ice Palace. I guess you could go back to Pod. There are no really good item dense locations at this point.
Yeah, you're right. The item density is an issue, isn't it? I think at this point, gosh, one of them's got to be an Ice Palace. If the other 2 are the Tile Room and the big chest in Ganon's Tower, that'd be huge.
I think that the 3 locations in Ice probably does make that the most dense of the remaining options.
I would assume him to go to Ice Palace before going to fight Helmasaur and the Green Pendant. I don't know, it's hard to say really.
Well, actually, because Helmasaur and the Green Pendant are essentially 2 items at the same spot, and are fairly quick to get to, that might be equal.
Yeah, there's one quick check on Ice Palace, but that's it. The rest of the items are not quick at all, even though they all come at pretty much almost the same time. After that, they take a long time to get there. Oh,
Well, he still does have 4 locations remaining, so as of now, Ganon's Tower remains the most item-dense location.
Yeah, it does. I'm not sure how many small keys he ended up finding, so there may be still a small key in one of these spots. Had a little trouble at the land malls, being kind of butt heads, but we got through it. And somehow dodged that fireball before hitting into the door. Yeah, Ice Palace has 3 items in it. The first chest is extremely quick to check, and anything past that is definitely not fast to check.
Ice Palace in the speedrunning community is most well known for its ability to skip all of those chests that contain the items you need. So when you actually have to go get them, it's quite a time-consuming process.
Oh, chat bringing up a good point. We still have some MITS locations in the blacksmith area.
It's a good point. There are 4 locations there, including the magic bat.
Which we know doesn't have one, but I don't think SageLord has checked it. I know Estragon definitely checked it. Alright, here we go. Is it up here?
Estragon had he fake flippered, so he was able to get the powder much earlier than SageLord did.
Yep. I definitely remember him checking out that bat. Oh no, the bomb, what the heck? It looked like it went a little bit on the conveyor and stopped. Uh-oh.
This is one of the only times that even if you're the best hoverer in the world, you're not going to do it. Because you need that last chest.
Does Moldorm 2 have our sword? I'm dying to know. SageLord, quit falling. I gotta know. Use that hammer. Alright, even with spin attacks, the fighter sword's gonna take 6 hits total. It's just playing it safe with dashes right now. I think he just must want to conserve his magic, or else you'd be doing cape strats. Oh no, stream, don't freeze now. I gotta know what's in this chest.
Oh, no! That is so disappointing not to find a single sword in the entire dungeon.
Alright, oh, we haven't seen with it in the waterfall chest either, have we? Has he even done catfish yet? That might not be a bad first play if he hasn't done catfish. Just go up there and Mire and check out all that stuff. Well,
I'm not even going to make a prediction at this point. I mean, he has so many options, and none of them are perfect, but dropping down the Ganon is the only thing that we know that he absolutely will not be doing.
yeah, we do know he has to go find a sword. Honestly, I feel like even if he makes a couple wrong choices, he's gonna have time. Estragon still has to go do Mire after this as well, and then GT. So I feel like, even though SageLord has finished Ganon's Tower, has all the crystals, he still doesn't have the Master Sword, I still think he's at a pretty good advantage right now. Ice head being a little wiggly for Estragon. It's 2 more hits in.
Pyramid Fair is another place neither of them have checked.
Is this Ice Palace or is this Waterfall? This is Waterfall. I think this makes a lot of sense. Alright, was there a sword here the whole time? Maybe. Estragon has... Oh gosh, he's almost dead. Don't get hit, dude.
You can do it. You can do it.
Don't get hit. No. No. Oh, jeez.
I must have missed when you used that red potion.
Oh, jeez, that was really scary. Way to hang in there.
Estragon should open his inventory and show us all the red potion that he had and did not need.
That was super scary. Got a nice map to wipe the sweat from his brow after that one.
Oh, Zora area did not pan out. That shovel.
SageLord probably angry about finding the shovel. I'm gonna go use it right now. Just give me a sword, dang it. Well, we know where 1 is, but I don't think he's gonna get that one. He missed! It's 50.
No!
Where was Estragon's sword? Estragon's sword was the green pendant turn-in from the Helmosaur King. Oh my gosh. Looks like we're going to the blacksmith area.
Chain.
I feel like this is still some pretty quick checks, especially, you know, with the mirror and the flute to fly the purple chest down there, so this makes sense before going to the Ice Palace for sure.
Yeah, there's 3 locations here that we haven't seen, so. But yeah, I'm crossing my fingers at this point. It's anyone's guess where they are.
My hope is that there's one here in the Peg Cave, and then the frog gets to go see Ganon. Did we check GT? We checked everything in Ganon's tower except the tile room and the big chest.
I think you actually can drop in with the frog. I've never seen it though.
Yep, you absolutely can.
Does he follow you around during the fight?
I think so. I think he's still there. I don't remember actually.
I've got to find a video of that.
Dude, someone did it on a race I commentated once. Both players finished Agonon's tower at the same time. Or finished Ganon's tower at the same time. But one of them left to go get the frog. It was going to be a super close race. Someone had to go get the stupid frog. I don't even remember what happened. Anyway, this race. The blacksmiths have a sword. Nope.
Purple chest, I guess.
Oh, dude, this is great. Oh yeah, I hadn't done it back yet either. We know there's not one at the bat.
I've seen races like this where people have both completed Ganon's tower and then it's just a master sword hunt. It's insane, and you know, to think that this can even happen, but it's so much fun to watch. This was otherwise a fast seed. I mean, we're an hour and 38 minutes in. You know, we would have been complete at this point.
Yeah,
if not for this work.
Bad. Man, oh man. I do remember one race I saw where someone had Fighter Sword after G Tower, and then the Master Sword was on the pyramid.
Oh, that's convenient.
That was pretty convenient. It doesn't get much more convenient than that. Okay, purple chest. Jeez, this is crazy.
There we go. Okay. Like I said, an hour and 39 minutes. We're in official go mode.
Estragon hit go mode before SageLord did.
Poor guy doesn't. This is the one time that you really wish that it was an Aga seed and you could have taken that portal there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, but we're not out of the woods yet. Master Sword Ganon can be pretty tricky if you're not practiced in it. I feel like SageLord has had actually pretty good execution this run, so I can't imagine it'll be too bad.
Having the silvers makes all the difference. Hopefully he'll take a second and pick up this fairy here.
Oh yeah, the left tree at the bottom of the pyramid always has a fairy in it. So if you're just getting used to fighting Ganon in some more difficult equipment configurations, there's a free fairy down there you can grab. SageLord not interested in it though, here we go.
He's got to feel very behind having done that sword hunt. So he probably, every second matters.
Oh.
So this is, so you can only damage Ganon with the Master Sword by using spins. It's 12 sword spins for the first phase, 12 sword spins for the second phase, 1 for each of the 4 teleport locations, and then a sword spin to freeze him, at which point you can use an arrow, silver arrow, for the traditional 4th phase.
Yeah, if you don't have the silver arrows, it's 24 spins in the final phase. It's actually pretty ridiculous, but that's why silver arrows save so much time. Yeah, it has a healthy stock of blue potions. I'm probably gonna use them. I think he bought all those.
He chose to use the cape in phase 1, and Ganon gave him excellent positioning where he was able to get the double sword spins against the wall, so that worked out very well for him.
Ooh.
Ganon wasn't so friendly during the first part of phase 2, but great positioning now.
Yeah, this one looks pretty great. Yep, just keep on chugging. Here we go. I have no idea how many he has left. We did find one against his tower, so if he bought 2, that means 3 total. Alright, into phase 3 we go. Already got the first hit in.
That was a very nice first 2 phases with Master Sword Silverless, which is not easy, but with the cape and half magic and 2 blue potions, you can definitely brute force your way through it if you have to.
Oh yeah. Buying those potions during their witch trip was pretty great. Alright, here we go into the final phase. Take a quick stop to get the torch glitch here. It's pretty important if you don't have silvers. When you have silvers, it isn't too bad because you, of course, only need just a couple hits here.
Excellent double there.
No need to rush, just gonna wait, play it safe.
Almost another double. He's going to finish it off.
That's gonna be
Only
it.
2 cycles. Very good Master Sword Ganon fight. As long as he doesn't fall off, he's gonna. SageLord will be our winner.
Alright, and congratulations to SageLord, finishing at around 143.33 after a kind of a wild goose chase for that Master Sword after Ganon's Tower.
Congratulations, SageLord. That was a pretty fun scene. It turned out well in the end. Estragon is not too far behind, entering Ganon's Tower with the Master Sword, so should only be another less than 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, looks like they're also going to opt to take the left side first, but there's nothing over here except, I think, a blue potion is all. We'll see if we can get SageLord in here for a quick interview, maybe when they're feeling ready for it. All right,
Welcome, SageLord.
Yeah, welcome. Congrats.
Oh, hello.
So you made very good use of that half magic and those bottles there at the end.
Yeah. That was a strat that I learned like when I first started playing, and I wasn't really particularly good at the gauntlet. So I would just hope that I would get half magic and use Fire Rod or Bombos or something ridiculous the entire way through. But I'm really glad I picked up those 2 blue potions. Even though I didn't need it, it was just sort of nice to know in the back of my head, like, hey, I could just use all my Fire Rod shots however I want.
Yeah, they definitely paid off. And then there was the free blue one in Ganon's Tower as well that you found.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Congratulations on your win. This will put you into the 2-0 bracket.
Yeah,
that's got to feel good.
Yeah.
I guess, of course, the question that everyone is wondering is, how did you feel about not finding a sword?
Oh my gosh! I gotta tell, every time that I've gone into Ganon's Tower and runs in the past with just like a single sword or looking for just a sword upgrade, I've always found one. And then like this run, there's literally like nothing in Ganon's Tower at all. In hindsight, I wish I would have checked the big chest because I guess it's possible for it to be there, right? But I don't know if you guys know where the swords are. But
We know that the 3rd sword was on the green pendant. Estragon did decide to clear Halmasaur and turn that in. He's currently working his way through Ganon's Tower. Also has only the Master Sword, and we all know that he will not be finding Tempered in GT.
yeah, man, I was really worried that like all 3 of the swords were in Ice Palace or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, we were kind of hoping that.
What's that?
Well, we were hoping that. It would have made the race a lot closer, okay?
Yeah, you didn't really have any good item-dense locations after GT. It was just a bunch of one-off spots. Ice Palace was the densest place and not a very good one.
Right. Yeah, I was probably gonna go. Well, I was gonna check the 5/6 crystal and catfish probably after the blacksmith and purple chest stuff, and then I was gonna go to Ice Palace. I was also a little bit worried about because I basically go-moded Mire, and I left behind 2 items there, so I was a little bit worried that I had left behind a sword there, but it takes so long to clear that dungeon that I just kind of thought that I would find the sword in Ganon's Tower, and yeah.
And with
might be one there.
Yeah, that's not an unreasonable thing to do with 26 spots you can check in GT.
Right.
Alright, Estragon headed down to the right side of Ganon's Tower. Not sure if they're gonna check the tower room at this point. Maybe that's where the 4th sword is. I don't know.
You had a very nice early game. You got Mire right away. It's just I know that was your favorite item there. The boots, bow was early. Looked to be a pretty easy start at least.
Yeah, it was really. I felt like my routing through Dark World, like the western part of Dark World, where I was able to get like every single item, just with the Mire and the boots. It was really nice. Sometimes I skip like Bumper Cave Graveyard Ledge area. I was really happy I didn't this time since Ice Rod was there. I probably would have dipped Turtle Rock before I checked that. So. But yeah, that was a pretty fun seed, I'd say, other than the sword mishaps at the end. I mean, having boots and Mire early is like really nice for connecting stuff in the game. And the fact that like Pod and Eastern Palace were both pendants, I'm really happy that we got the bow as early as we did, because that's another, that would have been terrible.
Yeah, that could have been really bad, but it's actually being pretty great.
Are those dungeons that you prefer to see as pendants?
No.
Well, definitely not. If they're both pendants, that means that bow can be in Ganon's Tower.
Right.
Alright, Estragon passed the mimics in Ganon's Tower, headed upstairs. has 20 arrows. I don't know if they know the stun prize, but I don't know if they're going to use 20 arrows either. So it's probably still fine.
You can burn through quite a few hours on the gauntlet, but
Yeah,
they only need to save 4.
I don't know about their potion situation. It feels a little better to use the fire rod instead of the bow for the gauntlet, but I don't know if they're comfortable spamming with however many bottles of blue they have right now.
Estragon, I don't know whether he used the one red potion that he had. You know, he was very low on the Turtle Rock fight and didn't pull it out, which makes me think that he might not have it. Picked up the blue potion here in GT. Where was the blue potion in GT?
It was in the Stalfos room on the left side.
Okay, so he picked it up and just, the bottle count is just off by 1 then, I suppose. So that's one blue potion that he has, most likely. I don't think he bought any at any point.
Oh yeah, you might be right. He doesn't have the mushroom, so wouldn't have any reason to head back there for that. So you may be right
Yeah,
that it's just the one blue.
His he's not going to pick up that tempered sword, as we know. So his and he used the blue potion at this point. So his Ganon fight is going to be a much rougher run than Keep strats with all the blue potions.
Yeah, I don't know how confident they are with just the Master Sword for Ganon. They may very well just go buy potions before doing Ganon.
If you that's not a bad idea, because you can mirror out at the pyramid and your portal will stay there. And you can just flute the witch and back. So it's it's only a 30-second detour. And of course, having SageLord already completed, there's no reason not to go get them at this point.
Not too bad. Takes both those land moles out. Land moles too gave you kind of a jerk movement pattern, I think.
Yeah, I messed that up pretty bad, but that's okay. Had the 3 blue potions to back up, so
Yeah, when you have 3 blue potions, you're not really scared of anything, I think.
yeah.
Well, a lot of people will say that purchasing potions is a waste of time, and you can clip this and you can show it to them, and you can prove them wrong for the rest of your gaming career.
Yeah, I like to think that I don't know. I know my limits, so I think that the time spent is good, especially if I have to go climb Ganon's Tower with just a regular sword.
Yeah, and you had the mushroom to turn anyway, so it made a lot of sense.
That's true. Yeah.
Which was somewhere... that was in Turtle Rock, wasn't it? I bet they actually Estragon does have that. Oh! Wow, what a jerk door.
Almost made it. I was like a frame off.
Oh, they don't have a potion, do they? They just used their blue. Go, go, go.
No, and they picked up both the small pots in that room already.
Yeah, take the free heart and the free magic here. Oh no, take the full oh wait, that is the full magic.
Yeah,
Take the
no,
heart too, then.
I expect that he's going to powder the 2 anti-fairies.
Yeah. Curiously not checking the treasure chests. That's brave. I don't know, you got Master Sword. Alright, in a Moldorm 2. Hopefully they'll have a little better time than SageLord38. Oh, never mind.
You guys, both runners were equally trolled by Moldworm too.
It happens. Sometimes you just get knocked off.
Going to use the opportunity at least to top off on health. That's a good call.
Alright, 3 hammers, let's go. That was a sword slash. Uh-oh.
I would be tempted at this point to have powdered all those anti-fairies and collected them and claimed that I meant to get knocked off.
Oh yeah, we have the bug man, don't we? Interesting to check that chest, but not check the other ones on the way here.
I think he's just accepted his Master Sword fate at this point. There was a long time during, maybe like version 27 or so, where it seemed like every other race was a Master Sword Ganon. But so far this tournament, I haven't seen too many of them.
Yeah, I do believe there was one version where Ganon's tower had like a high chance for swords or something like that. Ganon 2 gave him pretty nice patterns.
That's a very nice Aka too.
Alright, Estragon, are you gonna go get potions or is it on to Ganon? I definitely wouldn't blame you in this situation to go grab potions, but no, down we go. Even at the bottom of the pyramid, there'd be a fairy that could potentially save their butt. But we are not interested in that.
I think he's gonna make the attempt with what he has, and then if he needs to respawn, he'll be right there, and then we'll make the potion trek.
Yeah,
this is the more traditional Master Sword Ganon fight. Being cautious with the spins, not having the magic to use the cape strats.
Man, it's gonna make phase 2 scary though.
I got through phase 1 very well, only taking 1 hit.
No, slashes don't work. Oh no, be careful. Here's the cape.
I
Some
think
nice
that's
doubles.
Oh. One more should do it. And a baker's dozen.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is spooky, dude. Oh no. Oh no. Watch out. Watch out. No. No, no, no,
You can
no,
do
no.
it. You can do
Go
it.
away. Don't get torched. Oh no. Okay, good. What's that fire bat?
He's got enough magic for the torch. You can do it.
Go, go, go. Alright, avoids the last fire bat. Okay.
Very,
Alright.
very exciting. Made it to phase 4.
Sorry. I'm just on the edge of my seat here.
I hope you got it.
Oh my gosh. What's gonna happen in the next frame, dude? I'm like... Oh gosh. Oh no! This is not the frame I wanted to see next.
We see entering phase 4 and then walking down the stairs.
I think we're headed to the witch. Or just back. Oh, they were respawning the fairy. Hey, there you go. Either way, they're not gonna have any magic.
No, I mean, he has 1,200 rupees. I was hoping that he would take the flute to the witch, would of course give him free health refill as well.
Well, alright, hopping back down for fight 2. We don't have any more magic. In fact, we have a lot less magic. So, I think we only got one fairy though, right? I don't know if that's... We'll see if that's enough.
One safety fairy, and then of course we do have that mighty bee left.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And it's not being quite as generous on positioning.
Yeah, Ganon is the same for all players when you go there the first time, but you know, when you go there the second time, it's not quite gonna be the same.
Well, I got through phase 1 without taking any damage, so that was very good.
Good. Ooh, hookshot invincibility strats. Oh, almost
excellent bad dodging.
Oh wow, almost hookshots right into it. Which would be pretty awful. I believe that's 6 hearts. Slamming Ganon with
a Ganon hug and 2 bad hits there, I believe, unfortunately. And even with the blue mail, those 4 hearts or damage are going to add up.
Uh-oh. They do have the fairy, so that's good. Oh, jeez. That one was a jerk coming out of nowhere. Oh, man.
Wow. Just
really dodged. Yeah.
So this is basically where we were last time. Half a heart in phase 3.
But this time we have a fairy. Aha. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he made the good call to preserve his magic for the lamp.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just barely not getting the hit in before the fire bats come out. There we go. Last time we got it just fine.
We'll get to see what happens.
Oh, get that torch glitch. It's so far away. Uh-oh. They should still be fine. It's only, like, what 4 spins maximum they need to land.
It's doable.
Oh, no!
Fairy!
Yeah, down goes the fairy. I think with half magic, that is still definitely enough magic to do this with...
What's that death icon?
I think it's something from the game that she's from. Alright, this will be an easy hit.
Maybe a double?
Oh, so close. Oh, we got that one really close. Oh,
No! Almost fell.
Oh my god, what
That
the
was
heck?
so close. Just one more.
This is it, here we go.
Come on, you can do it.
Holy moly.
Wow! Amazing. There was maybe one more lamb cycle of magic left. Good game, Esther John.
Very nice job sticking out. That was a... I love that Ganon fight, that was great. Time for another one. Alright, Estragon finishing with about 204.04.
that was definitely a. I mean, wow, that was worth it.
That was a clincher.
I really wish I could have seen what happened the first time. I don't know if he fell off or if he died.
Oh, well, welcome, Estragon, to the call. I didn't realize you were in here. Hello.
Welcome, Master John. Congratulations on that Ganon fight. That was just very impressive.
I'm not sure if they have a microphone to speak or not. Definitely not hearing anything.
I'll just give him a minute to get set up. He might be switching over his audio. In the meantime, take a look at SageLord's collection rate, 166 out of 216. That's a lot less than I would have expected after that sword hunt. I would have thought he'd be closer to 180.
After checking all of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, so that's a surprisingly low collection rate given what he had to go through, and a very good time. Bear with us a moment. Mr. John is working on his audio. We'll hopefully be able to have him on in a minute. While we are waiting for Esther John, I'll just take this opportunity to point out to the viewers that take a moment to check out the SageLord and Esther John's Twitch channels. Give them a follow. They will they will be in 5 more rounds. Of course, my co-commentator Micon as well, and our tracker for today. Vash, 1978. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks everyone. What is going on the speed gaming schedule? I bet it's Randomizer. I see Randomizer
There's
on
Randomizer all day long. There's six speed gaming channels and 4 A Link to the Past Randomizer channels, and for the next 2 or 3 months, probably tune in at any given time, and we'll find a race.
Yeah, I believe on most of the speed gaming channels there's going to be a race. Looks like Shantae is happening on Speed Gaming 3. Oh, that's this channel, isn't it? In about 45 minutes from now, there'll be a Shantae race. And other than that, it's mostly Randomizer on Speed Gaming. There's an NMG race later today on Speed Gaming, and an Ori race on another channel, which might be 4, I think. So yeah, check out the Speed Gaming schedule for, all your rando needs and all your other game needs. Nah, those other games are actually pretty cool too, so definitely check them out if you haven't. Alright, the bot isn't working right now, is it?
Doesn't seem to me. Well, thank you to all the viewers, and thank you to the runners for putting on an excellent show for us to watch. Good game, everybody.
Yeah, thank you all. Have a good day.
Good game. Thank you.